Hey guys, welcome to Tyson's Fitness Tips podcast. If you want to lose weight, increase your energy, improve your health and fitness, and look your best, then you have come to the right place. My name is Tyson Brown. I'm a personal trainer, and my job is to help you transform your body by sharing with you the most up-to-date information on health and fitness. I'm going to distill it all down for you into bite-sized actionable steps that you can take immediately to see results quickly. Now, every Tuesday and Thursday, you can expect a brand new episode, which will be a mixture of interviews with top experts from around the world in the fitness space, and as well as solo episodes from myself, sharing with you exactly what action steps you need to take to transform your health, your body, and your life. So, let's get into the show. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Tyson's TV. Today, I'm going to be launching a new series that I'm really excited to share with you about, and it's all about intermittent fasting. I'm going to teach you, I'm going to pretty much go back to the very beginnings, whether you know about it or not, and I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about intermittent fasting. What it is, how to apply it, the best foods to eat, what type of windows you should be following, what mistakes to avoid, what can you have with intermittent fasting. I'm going to give you so much information because I want you to be as successful with this as possible, and I want to be the guy who teaches you how to do that. So you ready to rock and roll? Today, the first lesson, we are going to be going over, when I say we, it's me and you, right? There's no one else here, it's just me from Tyson TV and you watching. So I'm going to be going over with you what exactly is intermittent fasting and how you can start applying it into your life. So basically, there are 3 different types of intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting isn't a diet, remember? It is a lifestyle. So when you think about that, you're not going to be cutting out any food, you're not going to be restricting yourself, you're still going to eat carbs, you're still going to eat fats. When people try and combine keto and intermittent fasting and things like that, it's no longer intermittent fasting, all right? So we're going to go back to what true intermittent fasting is. Now, intermittent fasting is a simple lifestyle that you have where there is a time where you aren't eating and a time where you are eating. And the reason it's called intermittent fasting is because you're doing it intermittently. You're not doing it every single day, as in a prolonged fast. So a prolonged fast is more than 48 hours of going without food. You're going to be eating food within those 48 hours, which is why it's called intermittent fasting. Now, there are 3 different ways that you can do intermittent fasting. There is the alternate day fasting, which is pretty much having 23 hours a day of not eating and then 1 meal a day. There is the whole day fasting, which is where you would go 24 hours without food. And then there is the time restricted eating, which is pretty common. It's called lean gains. So I'm going to explain to you each one of these, how they work, what's the benefits of them, what's the negatives of them, and which one you can figure out is going to be best for you. So let's start with OMAD, 1 meal a day. Now this was, there's actually a really cool book out there called The Warrior Diet by Ori Hofmecker, and he's the guy who started it, right? Well, didn't start it, but he's the guy who kind of popularized this. And pretty much OMAD is really simple. It's 1 meal a day. You go 22 hours or 23 hours without a meal, and you have it once a day. So it might be you go from 6 p.m. till 6 p.m. the next day, you eat nothing. You have black coffee. In the Warrior Diet, he talks about maybe having like a little bit of berries here and there, like little things, maybe some vegetables, but nothing with a lot of calories in it. And basically you're fasting for the whole day. Now this is really good if you're super busy, if you work like, a hectic lifestyle and you never have time to slow down for food, if you have a really big appetite and you just like having 1 large meal a day, or if if you're just someone who wants to kind of experiment with something and try and push your body a little bit further. So that's going to be the biggest thing for you. If you're, if you're busy and you're just always on the run, you're like, what? This might actually work for me. And so all you would do, literally, is you would have 1 big feast meal at the end of the day. So 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. or whatever you're going to have it, you have a huge feast meal. You would need to consume a lot of calories in that meal, and that's where the detriments come in because you're eating so many calories in 1 meal. It's a load on your body. Like, it is a lot for your body to handle in one time, and it can be stressful on the digestive system. It can stop your sleep because your body's trying to work on digesting that food. And a couple of other problems can happen too if you try and overload your body with so much food in one sitting. However, if your body can handle it and you sleep well and all those things, then it's going to be great for you. So that's one meal a day, okay? It's pretty simple. OMAD, one meal a day, that's all you have, nothing else. Drink your black tea and your coffee and stuff like that during the day, and that is it. Now, the second day is alternate day fasting. So alternate day fasting, whole day fasting, should I say, is when you're either going to go one full day without food, so you'll do a 24-hour period, or you will do it intermittently during the week. So you've heard of the 5-2 diet, where 5 days of the week you eat normally, 2 days of the week that you don't have any calories. You have very limited amount of calories, between 500 to 800, depending on whether you're a female or a male. Cool? So with that, basically, let's say you are going to follow the 5-2 approach and you're eating a majority, like a very, very, very minimal amount of calories on a Monday and a Thursday. Now, this can be good for people who don't like to track their nutrients, who don't like to track their food, and they can just go a whole day without eating. They really don't have to worry about it, and they can say, you know what, I'm going to eat normally for 5 days, and on 2 days, I'm just not going to worry about food. I'm just going to focus very, very minimal amount and go from there. So if you're someone who doesn't like, the approach of what I'm going to talk about next, time restricted eating, and you would rather just choose 2 periods of the diet, 2 times of a week, where you can go, you know what, I'm just not going to have food at all, then that might be a better benefit for you, because you don't have to track your food as much, because you're going to have 2 days where you're pretty much eating nothing, and then 5 days. When I say eat freely, eating freely doesn't mean eating whatever you want. It's still making conscious decisions, 90% whole unprocessed food, making sure you aren't eating crap and junk and things with loads of calories, because otherwise those 2 days are going to be nothing to you. But basically, when you're eating 90%, being conscious about what you're eating during that time, even though you're not counting your macros, and then twice a week you go, you know what, I'm just not going to bother eating, that can be very, very beneficial for you too. Now, if you're going to go down that route and do the 2 days of the fasting, make sure you're training with weights on those days. That is because weight training is protective of muscle. So when you're actually doing the weights, and then your body's going to say, oh, we still need this muscle, let's not get rid of it, okay? You're not going to go catabolic, so make sure that you are training with the weights. And you can, even if you want something small, have a protein shake to have it after a workout or whatever, and that is it. So that is your second type. Now, your third type is the most popular by Martin Berkham. It's called lean gains, and that's pretty much where you have a certain window where you're eating during the day and a certain window where you're not eating during the day. This one is my personal favorite. So when I do this, I always do typically between a 16-hour and an 18-hour fast, and then 8 to 6 hours of eating. When I'm doing longer in my cut, when I'm trying to lose more fat, I will go longer, because simply the shorter amount of time I have to eat, the more benefit it is to me to not overeat my food. So this is for people who don't want to go a day without food, and they just want to eat not all the time, but they want to be able to eat something every day. This is going to be a better approach for you. So the lean gain, simply, you've got different ones. You can do 14 hours fast, 16, 18, 20. There you go. So you've got 4 different options to choose from: 14, 16, 18, 20. And then for the other time, so it would be either a 10, an 8, a 6, and a 4-hour feeding window. Depending on which one's going to be best is obviously going to be suited to you again. So all of these things, like all these different types of intermittent fasting, you've got to pick which one's going to be best suited for you. Now, I cannot do 2 days without food a week. It just doesn't work for me. But I've got clients who absolutely love doing it that way. For me, I would rather eat a meal every single day, and then once every 2 weeks, I do a full 24-hour fast. Gives my body a bit of a rest digestion. I make sure that I'm not eating too many calories, so I can do that full 24-hour fast, and that's what works for me. I like to do it on that way. But typically, you've got those 3 different styles to choose from. You don't always have to follow the 16-8 approach or the 18-6 approach. You can try the other 2 if you think they're going to be suited for you. So then you've got to think about think about your lifestyle. Think about, out of those 3, eating 1 big meal a day, eating a few times a day with time-restricted eating, or going 2 days or 3 days without food and then just eating normally on the other days. Think about which one's going to work best for you and your lifestyle, and then you can go from there. Now, one big important thing that you need to think about is, it doesn't matter what type of intermittent fasting you're doing, calories still count. At the end of the day, if you are eating more than you're burning, you are not going to lose weight, whether you're doing intermittent fasting or not, okay? And this is why food tracking becomes so important. So when you're doing this, start tracking your food. Download MyFitnessPal. Start having a look at your macronutrients. See if you're getting enough protein in during the day. Look at how many calories you're getting, because when you become more aware of this, it's going to make that intermittent fasting journey so much easier and more successful. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people think about, like, you actually don't hear a lot of people who talk about intermittent fasting talk about tracking your calories. You still need to do it, because it doesn't matter. It's not some magical fat burning tool. Yes, you do burn fat when you fasted, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean a lot if you're still eating too many calories, because if you eat too many calories, then that fat that you've burned will be put back on. So after this, what you should be doing right now, think about what's going to work best for you. 1 meal a day, alternate day fasting, or time restricted eating. After you've decided that, the next thing you need to do is you need to start tracking your food. You need to exit this after. First, you got to like it, then you got to comment, but then you got to exit. You got to go and download MyFitnessPal. You've got to put in your calories for the day, which we'll be talking about in another video. And then from there, what you're going to do is you're going to start tracking your food on a daily basis. Okay? So that is the end of episode number 1. The second one I'm going to be talking about is what you can have while you're having intermittent fasting, what you can't have while having intermittent fasting, and how to cure hunger. So make sure to stay in tune for that. If you like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll speak to you next time. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. Now, I've got a special gift for you. If you want to learn how I managed to lose 10 kilos and keep it off, then I've got the perfect treat for you. I've got a free intermittent fasting cheat sheet that I share on my website that shows you exactly how to diet effortlessly with intermittent fasting and fit it into your busy lifestyle. And more importantly, this is the exact guide that I follow every single day that allowed me to lose 10 kilos of body fat and keep it off 4 years later. So head on over to www.tysonbrown.com.au and pick up your free cheat sheet today and learn how to fit intermittent fasting into your life and diet effortlessly. Once again, that's www.tysonbrown.com.au. Opt in for the free cheat sheet and I'm going to send it straight to your inbox for free. Until next time, speak to you guys then.